guys, and welcome to my review of Haikyuu chapter 237. And this chapter was actually, I found this really good because this chapter shows how our characters have grown, and just how the different training camps help them grow in different ways. And let me start about Hinata because I noticed something as soon as Hinata did his second receive, including the one he did by the end of last chapter, where he received, he stepped one step too far when he tried to receive. So instead of receiving with this part of his body, like here, I don't know what you can see, so I'm just gonna hold my hands up. He receives it with like the inner part of his body, and he does this twice in a row. And Shinoya does point out that this isn't sheer luck, as Yamaguchi Tadashi, that is his name. As Yamaguchi says, he's like, I feel like Hinata that was just sheer luck, like that. But Nishina is like, no, he knew exactly where to go, and Hinata proves this by doing it a second time. But he again steps too much towards forward to the ball. I don't know how to phrase that. But yeah, he receives the ball with his body, and I just realized why he does that. He does that because when he was the ball boy, he anticipated where the ball would go, and because he's the ball boy, his job wasn't to receive the ball, his job was to catch it. So when he does that, he goes forward and catches the ball like that, which of course means that the ball is in this area of his body. So because he's used to that, he steps too close to the ball and receives it the way that he does in this match. And that's why by the end of the chapter he's kind of taking the information and calculating whatever Takeda-sensei says. He's inputting and analyzing the data because he needs the experience of a real game to figure out how to receive the ball properly, because until now he's taught himself how to catch the ball, where to stand to catch the ball but not to receive it. It's interesting that he put in that little complication because of how Hinata started off learning where to stand in order to receive the ball. I thought that was really funny, and I'm really glad that they didn't reveal in this chapter so that I could show off my detective skills and say that I figured it out. But let's go to Tsukishima because I just love talking about him. So by the second point they play for in this chapter, Kageyama has first touch in one of the rounds, and because he has first touch, he's of course not allowed to set the ball because he's not allowed to touch 2 times in a row. So he sets his play to Tsukishima, who's then supposed to set the ball to whoever is supposed to spike. Which is also interesting because we know that Tsukishima learned a lot of different things in his training camp. We have a little flashback to him as he plays the setter, I feel. And he learns that he needs to maximize his height and stuff like that. And while he does say in this chapter that, okay, so even he did do this very smooth move and it went perfectly to Asahi, it was half luck that he did so well, but he has been practicing doing these things so that he doesn't just have his blocking. Because as I said last time, I said that Hinata has been improving his receiving, but Tsukishima hasn't. So even though Tsuki is a better blocker, overall Hinata kind of has the edge because he can do blocking, he can do spiking, he can do receiving now, where Tsuki, he has his personal time difference attack, he can spike, and he's really good with feints, and then he's a really awesome blocker, but he lacks in the receiving department. But I still overall think that Tsukishima is actually the better player of the two of them. Hinata's just a tad special, but only with Kageyama. I feel like on their own Tsukishima has the edge, but that's like another discussion that's completely irrelevant because they play with the same team. But either way, I just feel like it's really nice to see Tsuki having grown, and we also see Tsuki perfectly reading that they are going to do a back attack, and then he goes to block that, but the way that they do the back attack is really soft, if I remember correctly. I could just check it, but I won't. So he doesn't manage to stop the spike completely, but he does get it right, and he knows exactly where to be, so that again speaks volume of how good of a blocker he is. We also have Asahi and Tanaka and Kageyama and all the other players just really showing that they have grown, which is what this chapter is all about. We also have a little flashback with Tanaka as he was kind of scouted for Karasuno, so it was when he was still a third year in middle school, and he came to like the orientation at Karasuno, and they the current third year saw him and was like, okay, so he's gonna be a Kohai next year, great, okay. And we saw then, as we know, Tanaka, he's very loud, he shouts a lot, especially when he does something right, he's very like, yeah, I did it right, which is why whenever he goes quiet, people are like, okay, what the heck. But yeah, I just really like how we see also Tanaka putting all that enthusiasm he has in his voice into his play and just growing, and it's just really nice to see him grow this way, because another thing that I want to point out is that in this chapter, even though the commentator is a little wrong, because as Tsuki points out and other people point out, I think, they are very lucky in this match, but the commentator points out that their play is very coherent, which is something that their play definitely wasn't in the first season. Like, that was the one thing Ukai was like, okay, we're very like rough on the edges and we don't really know how to play together, and by the second season where they tried to rearrange everything, they really weren't working well together. And Oikawa said as well when they played the practice match against Seijo, he was like, okay, if you didn't have your captain, your team would just be in shambles, because he connects all of you, and as we know, after this tournament, Daichi won't be there to pull them all together, so they need to know how to play and work properly together, because again, Daichi won't be there to make sure that everything functions as well as it should. So it's really amazing that even though the commentator is slightly wrong in how coherent they are, it's great to see that they have grown to a point where they can work together as well as this, because Tsuki and Kageyama have always been oil and water. I've commented on this a lot and I talked about it a lot. But they are finally seen working together, even though they are... Kageyama is quite annoyed that Tsukishima managed to put off the toss that well, because that's like what his job is supposed to be. But then again, Kageyama did toss to Tsuki because he believed that Tsuki could pull it off. So I thought this chapter was really good. It made me smile and was just really heartwarming, just as Haikyuu always is. And also, by the end of the chapter, Karasuno is ahead with 1 point, and I do believe that they will win 2 sets in a row, so that they won't have to go through a full 3-set match, and they will blow away their opponent. Probably not as much as they did with the first official match they had in the series, but they will win, and it'll be really sad for the other team who worked this hard to get to the national stage, but that's just too bad, because Karasuno is our main characters, and you have to lose to them if you're playing them first. So, I'm gonna end off my review here, because I think I got through everything that I wanted to say. Leave a thumbs up if you want. If you liked anything that I had to say, leave in the comments below what you thought of this chapter, and you can subscribe if you want to see more of me, and until next time, bye!